Southeast Asia's 5G monetization gap is widening as rising adoption, such as Malaysia's 50% penetration, has yet to deliver stronger telco revenues. To discuss this, we have Priyanka Ravichander of Tecnotree. Welcome, Priyanka. So, what is driving the monetization gap as 5G adoption matures in Southeast Asia?
It's an interesting question. 5G delivered speed, but it automatically didn't deliver revenue. And I think that's the core problem of this monetization gap. So operators heavily invested in spectrum, they invested in infrastructure, expecting new income streams to follow. But what they actually got was faster bytes carrying old business models. And that just means more data, same pricing logic. That's not growth, that's margin compression at scale. At the same time, you have hyperscalers and digital platform companies that are capturing this disproportionate value on top of those intelligent networks, right? So telcos are actually funding the highways, but others are monetizing the traffic. So this kind of points to a systemic structural issue. A lot of the business support platforms did not transform fast enough compared to the network infrastructure. So what needs to happen is we need to move out of the cycle of plan, launch, and build the customer to more sense, predict, and earn, and creating a sort of learning loop that helps us constantly improve the monetization precision. And the capabilities are already present within the network for this. Telecom operators have the largest distributed compute capacity that is very attractive for enterprises. So monetizing within that enterprise ecosystem with new types of revenue sharing and business models become quite key. Real-time event-driven charging as the network virtualizes more because of 5G. New events, new real-time events are coming up on to the network using those that specific type of information to precisely provide offers to customers at the right time to the right segment in the right way to improve conversions. That's going to help a lot. And then something that's not talked about enough, but I think is picking up in terms of scale, is the multi-tenancy wholesale models, which helps operators not only create slices but also hierarchies over the network for different types of monetization that includes MVNOs, MVNEs, even satellite sharing, revenue share, etc.
Just for better understanding on this, why exactly is basic mobile and data service no longer enough for growth?
Because connectivity has become a commodity, right? And it's a very efficient commodity. And customers don't want to don't wake up wanting more gigabytes. They actually want outcomes. They are interested in buying experiences, and they're not really concerned how much that bundle or data bundle is going to cost them. They just are more focused on that experience, and they're willing to pay anything for a greater level of experience. And the irony is networks have never been more capable than today, right? With ultra low latency, network slicing, massive IoT support. It's just that we're now still selling bigger buckets of data when the world has sort of moved on into outcome and experience.
Now, on AI's role, how can it help telecom companies create new sources of income?
So AI is going to be the bridge between network capability and the revenue reality that operators need to come to terms with. So without AI, modernization of the network will simply not scale fast enough to compete with the revenue that hyperscalers and other DSPs are making over the network. So I think a three-pronged approach is quite sensible. First, I think operators need to harness this real-time intent-driven monetization capabilities to be able to predict what customers need, precisely and dynamically price those offers to match those needs and trigger the offer exactly at the moment the customer requires it. It has to be very relevant to the customer. So it's no longer spray and pray, but it is more precise in terms of how we connect with customers overall. The second would be, like I mentioned earlier, to unlock the enterprise ecosystem revenue monetization capability that's already present, that hyperscalers and some other DSPs have already started activating. So you need to have your business support platforms need to have more flexible pricing models, SLA-based pricing, in fact, automated partner settlement capabilities, intelligent bundling across services. And I think the third one is going to be what you're seeing today already in terms of the use of Gen AI and how Gen AI is slowly changing the way telcos can innovate themselves. So turning sort of natural language into product configurations or natural language into segmentation of our customers, creating those next best offers and next best actions through AI agentic workflows, reducing, the product launch cycle time from, probably weeks or months to hours, in fact, so that you're able to really harness the market. And what is going to happen is as operators start embedding more AI predictive capability and of course generative AI capability within their network and on top of their network, especially to interact with customers, you're going to see that the model is moving away from number of subscribers, ARPU, etc., to more marketplace dynamics, right? In terms of GMV, GTV, GTR. So
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Priyanka.
thank you so much for having me.
Once again, that was Priyanka Ravichander, CCO and CMO of Tecnotree. For more news, visit asiantelecom.com.